Disney is rushing The Mandalorian and Grogu to streaming, trying to beat, well, a surprise film that just might shock you. But why so soon? Why will Pedro and Grogu be on the small screen? Well, it turns out it might be because there's no hope at Disney that it's ever going to lift up the Disney Plus numbers. And today we'll give you the evidence for why they are likely right about a lackluster Lucasfilm and a flop from Star Wars. Well, where did Mando and Grogu end up at the box office? We've got answers, and we'll tell you why it is not going to be a streaming darling. Disney knows it, and we're going to show it the evidence that is. As we get ready to give you a PhD level of understanding into what's going on, click that like button, share, subscribe, and if you're new to the channel, just know this is the place where you're seen, appreciated, and respected, unlike the Holly Weirds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Disney company is rushing The Mandalorian and Grogu into digital release. Oh my, before the summer is even over, here comes little baby Grogu. And why? Well, I'll tell you in just a second, okay? We've heard something that might be pushing Disney to get it out quicker rather than later. This is by Tom Power. It's being featured over on Tech Radar. The Mandalorian and Grogu's digital release date has been revealed. But I won't be able to see the new Star Wars movie on Disney Plus just yet, and neither will you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll explain. Here we go. It says The Mandalorian and Grogu is heading to a TV screen near you very soon, but not on Disney Plus. On July 15th, Lucasfilm and parent company Disney announced the latest Star Wars movie will be available to watch at home starting July 21st, a Tuesday. If you didn't catch it in theaters, which many of you did not, most of you did not, or you've been waiting to rewatch it from the comfort of your couch, none of you are, then you'll be able to do so via numerous premium video-on-demand, PVOD as they call them, platforms in less than a week. You see here Star Wars posted, be the first to watch at home by Star Wars, Mando and Grogu on digital July 21st, and own it on 4K Ultra HD August 25th. It says, as for the services it'll land on, it's the usual suspects, Apple TV, Fandango, etc. But then it says, well, why is it not on Disney Plus? And we think we've got the answer to that, but hang tight. Here's what it says. If you're wondering why Mando and Grogu isn't coming to Disney Plus, one of the world's best streaming services yet, you're not alone. After all, it's been over 2 months since Pedro Pascal fronted sci-fi adventure not only landed in theaters, but subsequently failed to meet expectations. Wouldn't it make sense to just drop the movie on Disney's primary streamer? It says, simply put, no. For one, releasing it on digital platforms first is a surefire way for Lucasfilm and Disney to continue making money. Is that part of what it's doing? Okay, it's doing that now, making money. Oh, who knew? It says, sure, adding it to Disney Plus's movie library might persuade some to sign up for the streamer to watch it. However, Disney is far more likely to bring in extra cash through rentals or permanent purchases than new Disney Plus subscriptions. And this gets to the crux of the matter, Lauren. They don't believe that Mando will get people to go to Disney Plus. And as a result, they're going to put it out at a cost to the third parties, probably contractually obligated. But here's the other part of it, Lauren, and I'll let you run because I know you know tons about this. But Lauren, we've heard that Supergirl is also going to be rushed to PVOD. And Supergirl is being rushed to PVOD, premium video on demand. It's being rushed to that at the end of July, which is, crazy speeds, but they got to get it out there. You and I have talked about that. I think Disney's strategy now is get this out onto Amazon before Supergirl. They literally don't want Mando to compete with Supergirl, and they don't believe if they put it on Disney Plus that anybody is going to subscribe to see this. I think that's what this is about. What say you, sir?
Yeah, they believe correctly. It's if they put it on Disney Plus, it's just one thing. No one's going to subscribe just to watch it, and if they do, it's going to be a minuscule amount. For those people who are already subscribed, it's not going to retain their subscription, and they don't make any money for the people who watch it. So they're trying to create some kind of a window where they get some additional level of profit from this thing. They've got kind of a staggered release where you've got the digital release for PVOD, you have it appearing on Disney Plus, and then in August it comes up on physical copy that you can buy, which I think is the 4K Ultra format. One thing that's interesting is that they're releasing it 6 days earlier than what I had heard. The date that I was hearing for PVOD was on the 27th, and they're actually releasing it on the 21st. So they're eager to get this thing out here to try and maximize the possible window where they can make some money on it.
Right, because it is, I mean, it really is. It's done, right? I mean, this is just flat out done at the box office. I mean, and it should be, but we had made some predictions here on what we thought it would do, and we're ready to see how it finished out. And so I think I had predicted, did I say 335, Lauren? Was that my prediction for it?
I don't recall. It's been several weeks since we talked about it.
I think 335, it actually outperformed what I thought barely. 342, nowhere near breaking even. And if we look at where it is domestically in terms of what it's doing, I mean, this has been flatlined, golly, for 3 weeks. So it's doing nothing. It's still in some theaters. If we look down, how many are they playing in? Well, it's really not. 260. They've run this thing out.
Yeah.
So 260, it's flatlined now for 3 weeks. It's toast. So I don't disagree, Lou. It's time to get it out in the streaming, make the final few bucks they can, and call it a day. This is a huge loss. $800 million was the break even. 342 is where it winds up at the box office.
You have to wonder, though, if they start doing this with everything or all of the major ones that are flops, which at this point is everything for them, at what point do you start basically telling people who bought Disney Plus because they wanted to see this stuff exclusively, you could see it nowhere else, we lied, go away? In other words, it's one thing to say it won't bring new people in. It's another thing to say that doing it this way will drive people away and people will drop their memberships. We shall see.
If this had been successful, Lauren, we would have anticipated that it would have had a big deal, maybe around Labor Day, come on to PVOD. And then we would have also, I think, been waiting for this to come out, around November onto Disney Plus as a big way to drive lots of views. This is essentially the substitute for season 4. This is season 4, and this is the finale of The Mandalorian as a series. I think this is kind of over now too. I mean, we may see Pedro Pascal play a part in some sort of cameo with Ahsoka or some sort of bring it all together, end this thing, but I don't know where they go. And I don't know, is Grogu also a damaged IP now where, what do you do with that? I mean, nobody's buying Grogu toys anymore either.
There's a lot there. I'm not sure which part you want me to respond to.
Start with Grogu, and is that a merchandisable character anymore? And then let's go to what do they do with the characters now that you really can't make a movie and you really can't make a show?
I'd have to think about that a little bit more. I think Grogu is still a merchandisable character because you have the casual audience that's always going to buy Grogu merchandise. You have people who are not necessarily giant Star Wars fans, but they did fall in love with the show and with that character because he's cute. And so you're always going to have people that will buy Grogu knickknacks. Is that going to amount to a significant amount of sales? Probably not, but it'll always probably be a bankable character just because of the design. When it comes to movies or shows, I think the show is done because it's too expensive to produce. I think that you're right that The Mandalorian and Grogu will come back in some other form, likely in a later movie is my guess. They've already said as much that they do have plans for the character.
I got plans to be a trillionaire.
Well, I suspect they're already in production on something is what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But is it going to be a major thing? Probably not. So it's difficult to say really where you go from here unless it's something like spin-off media, comic books and games and things like that. I think as a major draw for the TV show or movies, probably not.
I would disagree on one point, Lauren, and that is on the merchandise, because the big mistake they made, among many, was not to grow him up a little bit for this movie so they'd have 2 versions. The question isn't, will people buy one because it's cute? The question is, will people buy 2 or 3 or 4 as it evolves? And they haven't evolved it. So they've given up all of that possible merchandise revenue.
I agree with you on the fact that evolving the character would have been better because that would have gotten the diehard fans. I disagree with you on the casuals, and I'm taking this from actual casuals that I know who are not diehard Star Wars fans, don't really care about the universe as a whole, but anytime they see Grogu on a thing, they buy it. So I know that this demographic exists.
Well, okay, let me ask about this, though, Lou, in particular, your theory that not having another version of Grogu hurt them. That's actually what we heard years ago from some of our toy industry insiders who said that there was actually a meeting and the toy manufacturers and third-party partners such as Hasbro, walked out furious because they were saying, I'm going way back in my mind here, but we covered this years ago. They wanted Luke Skywalker and Jedi Padawan Grogu because at least then they had a new holiday season of Grogu that was different than the past to sell. And Disney wouldn't give them that. They were determined, this is all you get, this version, and that's it, no more. And that seems to have absolutely cratered any interest in it.
It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, look, how many, it's the Barbie process, right? Malibu Barbie, such and such Barbie, this and that Barbie, and people will buy more than one. It's the American Girls dolls where people will buy more than one because they have different variations on the theme. But if you just have the same little guy, as cute as he is, I don't need 12 and I don't need 3. And all right, there are some diehards who will buy. Yes, they are, our Lord, but I don't know. I don't know. Cuteness only goes so far if it's the same cuteness.
Look, this is why I'm saying that they're not diehard fans. They're casuals. I'm talking about essentially wine moms who buy the socks and the earrings and things like this. It's a female portion of the demographic, but it taps into their maternal instincts, and they'll coo over it and buy anything that there is. But it's a tiny part of the market. That's why it doesn't do anything financially. But they will buy the merchandise when it comes out. This is why you got the Bath and Body Works, the soaps and the lotions and all of that stuff. That's who's buying.
I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked if that was a successful campaign, having Bath and Body Works Grogu scented lotions, which they had. But I would be, I mean, honestly, if that sold well, I'm shocked.
Not that we'll ever get these stats, but the interesting comparison would be the, what was it? Was it Burger King or Wendy's, or who had the
Burger King?
It would be interesting to compare it to other similar campaigns they had with other movies and see which did better.
I don't think this one did well.
I don't think so either.
Real Life Fake Wizard told me the whatever the meal was, he tried it for his channel, and it was like chemical garlic flavored burger. Like, woo! You couldn't even get that right. It's colored, it's food colored macarons. No, that's a French president. Folks, go on and see how badly this does. PVOD is now the last gasp for Lucasfilm and Star Wars when it comes to Mando, and then I think it's over. Sorry, Pedro, but you are not, in fact, Star Wars Peepaw. When you stick around for the entire video, it really does help the channel, and we're so appreciative of that, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that you would stick around and hear everything we have to say. The studio is glistening because you're listening each and every day. If you're not yet subscribed, well, you should be. And click that like button. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.